sabotage my community, making a killing. You made me a killer, emancipation of a real nigga. The longer the memory, the sweeter the truth.
Rap, a distinctive aspect of African American culture, is either condemned as being a negative influence or loved. Some authentic evolution has occurred, but appropriation is still rampant. The album To Pimp a Butterfly goes against the rap music stereotype and embarks on its own journey of salvation for a culture and community that has been oppressed for centuries.
The encyclopedia will work in two ways. Someone interested in a historical event, such as Trayvon Martin's murder, or a general phenomena like coming from nothing and gaining success, can learn about how Kendrick Lamar addresses the issue and our interpretation of his intent. It could also be used by people interested in the music itself. They can learn the important background. This is especially vital for individuals who may have listened to the album without context or regard for deeper meaning, as there are many key points they may be ignoring.
There are many aspects of this album to analyze. The most obvious are the direct references to afterlives of slavery and the treatment of black men in modern-day America. Lamar has important undertones about race throughout, but he even distinctly addresses afterlives of slavery in his song Complexion, A Zulu Love, where he enters the mindset of a slave and questions whether or not the future of America is not hinged on the past.
Part of this album that may not be as obviously connected to afterlives of slavery is his reference to attaining success and not wanting to lose it. The fact that it's surprising he came from nothing and got rich highlights socioeconomic differences in races. Compounding on this, some preliminary research questions if a rapper can be political and successful. As a commercial triumph, did he sacrifice authenticity? How does his influential white suburban audience affect his message? In an industry where artists profit off of rapping about money, women, and fame, why has this artist turned to more political subjects in his music? And how has that affected his career?
Another part of this album that is connected to outclass is misogyny. There's no denying rap music often demeans women, and this album is no exception. Do the negatives outweigh the positive message of the album? Could the misogyny be linked to the afterlives of slavery? Do black men feel the need to push black women down to gain the power that they lack in society as a whole? Or is the black woman just another pawn used by the American institution in a further effort to bring down the black man?
We will create a schedule for the work involved in the encyclopedia. This will include some expansive research that is more relevant as our project evolves. Most of our past investigation has been focused on the background of rap music and the album itself. However, certain important topics, like the reason for all the misogyny in rap music, have not been pursued. This will significantly influence our encyclopedia entry. In addition, Lamar samples many other artists across many decades. We need extensive background on these features, as he selected them for a reason, and they must have a lot of meaning. Finally, there are some very important events mentioned, and specific details are necessary to truly appreciate the depth of Lamar's allusions. In terms of workload, we are splitting everything into sections. That way, we can write separately, then collaborate when we need advice. We have open lines of communication through texts, emails, and our in-person interaction.
The most anticipated problem is due to the very nature of music. Meaning is so subjective that many leading music critics may have different ideas. The artist may even weigh in with an opinion about their intent, but if the audience experiences it differently, is their opinion invalid? Often, no one is truly right when it comes to the meaning of the song. This makes writing something as objective as an encyclopedia very challenging. However, we plan to overcome this by synthesizing ideas wherever possible, then presenting the various sides. There's nothing wrong with saying Lamar wrote with certain intentions, but leading scholars believe it could also be applied to. Yes, this may be challenging, but it's also vitally important to the form.
Kendrick Lamar tackles important issues relevant to the afterlives of slavery in his album, but many people ignore his commentary because of its untraditional form. Just because his analysis is buried in rapt lines does not make it any less valuable than clearly defined prose in an essay. In fact, To Pimp a Butterfly reached a much larger audience than most works, and its potential as an educational tool swelled with its popularity. The goal of this encyclopedia is to turn that potential into knowledge.
You could take your boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood off the homie. Took his show money, stashed it in the mosey wosey. Hollywood's nervous. You good night, thank you much for your service.